Now, to our guest. Our guest today has dealt separately with three different types of cancer since 2005. Joining us to tell her amazing story is Maureen McCormick from Oregon. Maureen, thank you very much for doing this.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate having a voice.
Maureen, given what you've had to endure over the last 16 years, are you free of cancer today?
Yes, I had a scan just oh gosh, it might be 3 months ago, and a 3D imaging with my breast for the breast cancer, which was the most recent. So I could say that they've done the whole body scan. So yes, I'm totally without disease.
That's fantastic. Now, this
I
journey,
know.
this journey for you started way back in 2005 when you were diagnosed with
Correct.
malignant melanoma on your left cheek. Tell us about that.
Well, I have sailed up there in the San Juan Islands and the Gulf Islands there with my husband for years. And one morning I woke up and I saw there was blood all over the pillow. And I went into the doctor and I said, there's something going on with my cheek. This isn't right. And now that doctor didn't want to go with it that year. So I had to go back a year later and say, something's going on. I insist that something get done here. And so they did a biopsy and determined that it was malignant melanoma on my left cheek, and I had a WLE section of it,
What does that mean, WLE?
and a wide excision.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's just a big hole is another word for a big hole in your body.
Wow.
And
Did they say they got it all when they did that, Maureen?
Yeah, well, when I went to the first surgeon meeting, I didn't have my husband come with me because I thought it was no big deal because he was just going to take the Band-Aids off. But then at that time, that surgeon told me that it was malignant melanoma, and because it was on the head, it was very critical, and that I probably would not survive this, and that I should go home and get my affairs in order because there's no cure.
Wow.
Well, I wasn't going to take that one lying down. So, and I'd had experience before getting rid of a thyroid issue with raw foods. So it was natural for me to look for plant medicine. And I just started Googling and I ran across Rick Simpson oil. Now I had to do all the investigation and figuring it all out myself. And because there was no support at the time. And so I did that and got through it. So
When you say
When you
no,
did that, did you make it yourself or?
I did. I started making it myself. And then I discovered that we had a dispensary located nearby called Stony Only that was really proactive in, medicine for one, because we were just getting prescription marijuana in Oregon. So they were proactive that way. And they were also giving doses of it to the Shriners Hospital, their RSO that they made up. And so that made me feel pretty good too. So I started buying from them. And but I also wanted to check. I had a meeting with one of their people in the company, and I wanted to determine whether I was doing it accurately of all the study, and I did on it, And so she listened to me for about an hour and said yes. Anyway, it's not that difficult. It's not difficult, people. But she did. I know there was one time I came in there and I said, my husband doesn't like me being so stoned all the time. He thinks I'm losing my mind. And she said, well, you have an option there. It's either chemo or this. What's it going to be? It is your chemo. And that put it in perspective for me. And I just came back and told my husband he's going to have to deal with this for a little while. It's pretty short term, really. 60 days to get to your, 60 days to get to your optimum, and then 30 days to actually take a gram a day. So.
And you were doing it all orally?
Yes, I was doing mine all orally, pretty much. I was experimenting with, like putting it on my skin and everything. And I didn't start trying any other orifices until I got the ovarian cancer. and that was in I was in 2012.
Maureen,
And,
just before we go there, I just want to ask you,
Uh-huh.
with your melanoma on your cheek, were you taking other medications prior to cannabis, or was cannabis your choice at the time?
You mean to treat the melanoma?
Yes.
Yes. No, only cannabis.